Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. This is a job complete video. Just wanted to show you comparison, mainly on the readings on the scan tool, before and after. You can see the kilometers, bit of road testing, and then I'm about to go on another drive. You can still, the 120s still get a bit of a rattle, and these will need to settle in a bit also. It's also had a suction control valve. But it could be a cold engine. Let's have a look at the scan tool. Let's try anyway. There's that sunlight. I've got to fix that up, don't I? All right, here we go. Let's try and have a look at the diagnostic screen without too much reflection. I'll do the best I can. You can see the load reading's already down to around the 12%, and the coolant temp is only 57 degrees. You may have seen in the prior little bit of the video back there. Right, obviously it sounds a lot better. Let's have a bit of a slide down. We're just going to quickly go through. This is where things should be, okay? And this is where they stay for a very long time. So if they're not here, you're already on the way to having problems. Now, a bit of a comparison to the previous video. There was approximately 6 videos, maybe 7 on this vehicle, and there will be a playlist for it, and I can't remember what I've called it. Maybe I'll check that out and add it into this video, so stick around. Check out our playlists. You might just figure it out. It's not that hard. There's only, I don't know if there's 20 or a couple of dozen, 2 or 3 dozen playlists. Easy to go through and check out the subjects you're interested in. EGR information, EGR cleaning, how the EGR system works, under one heading. All the injector information under one heading. Now there's a risk that there's a lot of videos that aren't in those subheadings because it takes time. I've done the work to try and itemize that for you, so it may be worth searching our channel. Just watch our channel. Don't worry about anyone else's information. It just gets you confused. Have you noticed the feedback values? 1, 2, 3, 4. All looking very good. We know there's not a problem now. Injection volume around 6. I'm going to go for a drive and get the vehicle fully warmed up, and we'll take another look because that would be a fair comparison. I believe it was fully warmed up in the first video. Not that from this temperature to full temp would make a lot of difference. Now let's look at pilot 1 and pilot 2 towards the bottom of the picture, usually around the 430 mark, and they're about 430 to 450. The engine's not fully warm. That's fine. Notice the big difference at main injection period at the bottom there. Notice it does jump around a fair bit. They do that. These vehicles do that, and they do vary from vehicle to vehicle, but have you noticed? It's quite commonly mostly around the 600. If I remember correctly, specification for that one is around 510 to 710. So just say 5 to 700, around 600 being ideal, but you're going to find it around, once it's warm, they're most commonly around 550 to 600. On this engine, with this transmission, they all vary. If you're not sure about your readings, you need to watch our diagnostic playlist. That is, information has been provided and organised for you for free. So please press the like button on all the videos to say thank you. And the haters can press the thumbs down because they hate, and our channel will continue to grow and we will continue to be successful. I suggest you go and find something better to do with your life. Unless you love it, move on, as we have with you. Okay, pilot 1, pilot 2, around 430, 450, main ejection period, 550, 6. I'm just sort of talking a bit and letting you have a look at what, because there's a lot of readings in that picture that are important. Injection volume, feedback values, main injection period, all looking very good. That's what I would expect normal to be. Once the injectors get flogged, the top 3 readings that go out, I've said it before, the load reading, the injection volume at the top there, anything above. Now don't get me wrong, this is a 120 Prado. The later 150s and later Hiluxes, it's different. So we're talking about this vehicle, right? A 120 Prado, let's be clear, this is what it looks like, right? LC 120 Land Cruiser Prado in Australia, LC 120 Land Cruiser elsewhere, GX whatever, right? Thank you very much, put it in the comments. All right, the guys from the US, what are they called over there? Put it in the comments, please, so all the Aussies know what the vehicles are called over there, what an LC 120 is called. All right, this is looking pretty good. The engine's humming. There's no rough idle, it's nice and smooth. But of course it needs to be run, things need to be run in a little bit. Okay, now let's slide it down and have a look at the timing. Yep, pretty well, awesome. Let's go back to the top and see what that load reading is already. Already around the 11 point and 12. I'm going to go for a drive, I'm going to get it up to 83. I'm going to give you some feedback on what it drives like and a little bit more information. That video playlist is called 2009 120 about to crack a piston, because at 271,000 Ks it probably was, but I'm actually really impressed with how it's come up. It drives really well. So this is the second big road test, so we may do a couple little road tests, like we get the engine started, we drive it before we change the suction control valve. We do approximately a 20k road test after every injector job, and because we like to test things properly and inspect things properly afterwards to make sure there's no issues, no comebacks. We do it right the first time. Now, just having a look at these diagnostic readings again, you can see the coolant temp's up to 84. Typically these will idle at 83, 84 if everything's normal. Might even drop down to 83 while I'm discussing these readings one more time before I accelerate off and show you how quiet it is. I've got the window down, right? I've got the driver's window down. You may hear a couple of cars driving past. I'm on a quiet road at the moment, but it is just engine noise. You might, look, you should get a slight rattle out of these engines, and you'll get noise out of Hilux engines because they're not as well insulated. We've explained that before. But for a 120 that's done that many Ks on the original set of injectors, I'm very impressed with the way it's come up, right? So notice the load reading, around 11. With these vehicles and a 5-speed auto, okay, that's what you're going to see around the 11 mark, either side, give or take. That's what's normal. I'll say it again, 12's okay, 13's still pretty good, 14's okay as well. It's sort of, you know, they're getting a bit of wear. 15, it's time to start saving more seriously. 16, it's probably time to change injectors. It's getting out of spec. That's when you need to look at all the other readings at the same time. Different on a 150 Prado. There is variables. You don't rely on the load alone. You can't just rely on the load on its own, but it's a very good indicator, as you can see here. Okay, now let me try and swap hands and try and get this in a position. Yeah, it's not going to work. Get this in a position. Come on. Okay, I want to get to the other readings again, don't I? So, to show you what is normal and good and happy, right? This is happy. Injection volume on this vehicle, on a 120 Prado with a 5-speed auto, in peak operating condition, around about 5.5. Around, look, you're lucky if you get as low as 5. It's not normal. Around 6 is what you're going to get, give or take around 6. Just under 6 is really good. Okay? Feedback for idle, don't worry about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's looking good. Number 4 minus 1, don't worry about it. It's what it is, it's all good. Okay. Pilot 1, Pilot 2, what did I tell you? It's always around the 430 mark, very consistently, maybe up to 550 on these vehicles. You want to know about your 150? Watch the diagnostic playlist and listen to me talk about the LC 150. You want to know about other vehicles? Sorry, I can't save the world, although I could probably do a better job than a lot of these supposed leaders. Okay, main injection period, around the 600 mark, down to about 550 quite commonly, every now and then down to about 5. But I don't see it jumping up and down all over the place from 4 something to 900 and whatever. If you see anything above 700, it's time to start looking at other readings, okay? Now let's just move to the timing so we can have a picture of what's normal there as well. 20, 14 and 2, or 2, 14 and 20. That's a bada bing. Have a listen to this as I accelerate off. Yeah, lucky I've got an assistant here holding the phone for me, right? Anyway, just wanted to demonstrate how quiet is that. I'm super impressed. You can just hear the engine. You know, engine noise is normal engine noise, no rattle. Unfortunately, you're not always going to get that with diesels, with these engines or any other diesels. but I'm super impressed with how this one's come up, and I really like it when they come up this way, but it's not always possible. Again, just for goods. How good's that? Absolutely awesome. I'll be quite honest here, the only issue is the engine side of it drives really well, the transmission really well. We've just done a flush. I can feel the lower control arms rubbing on the body of the car. I can feel the heavy steering. I can feel the slop in the wheel bearings and the tie rod ends. So as far as the steering goes, the handling like that, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty sloppy in the front. You can just feel it. It needs that front end work. Guys, that's a video. I hope you liked it, providing the feedback. We've transformed the vehicle from one that's about to blow up, and there's always the slight chance, okay? I'm gonna be clear here. You're gonna be very unlucky if this happens to you. This has happened to maybe a handful of people. I can only really think of one at the moment. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He seems to think, you know, the world owes him something or whatever. And the new injectors have failed and caused the problem, which is the stupidest thing, unfortunately. Obviously, he's not comprehending enough information and videos, or he's listening to the wrong people. I've covered that. Don't listen to other people, other videos, other information. The injectors are made by machines. They're 100%. They're not touched by people. They don't fail unless there's a lot of contamination. They last a very long time. The injectors are awesome, but if damage is already done to the engine by leaving them in for 270,000 Ks or 240,000 Ks, that is the cause of your problem. You heard how it was running so badly, and you know what? When people contact me with them running like this, as demonstrated with this one in this video, they don't always necessarily tell me, oh, it's blowing smoke, it's running rough, it's got a rough idle, it's down on power, it's running like an absolute heap of crap, which is what this one was. Now it's running like a new car. Hopefully it'll stay like that. 99 point something, really high in the 99 point somethings of these will be fine for many, many years to come, even though they've been let go this far. But there's a slight risk, well under 1%, probably 0.02% or less, that you're going to have engine problems in the next 100 Ks, 1,000 Ks, 10,000 Ks, or even 50,000 Ks, because damage has already started. But in most cases, I'm going to say it again, I want to be clear. In most cases, you're not going to have any issues. If you do, you're very unlucky. If you're one of the wise people that's done the right thing, you purchase injectors from me, and you've made your contribution to our Crack Piston Fund, which is a donation to a separate account, not my account, not my business account where you purchase your injectors. No, it's not there. You may, in the unlikely event, be lucky enough that there's funds in that account to cover an engine or half an engine or something for you. That's at my discretion on how far you've let it go, how much you've contributed, how many times. All the right people. Bada bing, they're in there, right? They are in there. They're in the fund. There's people that have had engines paid for, or the majority of engines paid for. It's not an insurance company. We can't guarantee this. If there's 2 in 1 week, there's a good chance you can miss out. But then we tell the story, and a lot of good people, they donate again. That's why we've got VIP's Gold Class. You need to answer those questions honestly to get in there. You're not going to get in the group without answering those questions. If you're not in there, you're crazy. If you've done the right thing and you've put your injectors in there, make a good donation, if you like. It's a donation to an engine fund that we've got a good balance at the moment, but it needs more to cover an engine. But something is better than nothing. Let's just say an engine's 10 grand and we've only got 5. What's better, if it costs you 5 or it costs you 10? Anyway, I'm not saying an engine's 10 grand. I'm not saying that includes labour. I'm just giving examples. It's worked really well so far. The people that are in there, especially those that have made use of it, love it. This is a video, guys. We're done. I'm sharing the information to the best of my knowledge, trying to help you guys avoid these sorts of issues. If you need an injector kit, I'm not saying rush into it. I'm not saying you have to buy it off me. But if you want to avoid problems, buy it off me. Monday morning text messages from 8 AM. We only recommend brand new, genuine injectors and all the right parts that come in the kit to do the whole job properly so it ends up running like this. That includes VIP group access and many videos showing you how to do this job right, so you hopefully get a result like this. Doesn't always work out. Sometimes engine condition varies. Worn engines, worn rings, worn, but who knows what's worn. Maybe there is a crack across your piston, you know, but you want to be making sure you're not second guessing by, oh, were those injectors new, genuine? Oh, should I have used that brand of injectors? Oh, maybe they're maybe they're counterfeit, maybe they were counterfeit. You can avoid all that, but of course only the people that are listening to the end are going to hear that message, and it's up to you what you want to do. Bada bing, it's your choice. I'll give you the info. Bada boom, I'm out of here. See you guys. Thanks for watching.